हेलो। हेलो। है
हेलो।
ना?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
मेरे सिस्टम में प्रॉब्लम था, रीस्टार्ट किया, हो गया। अब चल रहा है बराबर।
हम्म। है विनोद।
साइलेंट एकदम।
क्षितिज, एक बारी तू कुछ बोल, क्योंकि तेरे सिस्टम में भी प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी। तो सुन सकता है अभी? अच्छा।
अच्छा, तो क्यू कौन देगा?
क्यों
क्योंकि जैसे
कौन
स्टार्ट
देगा
कर रहे
फिर?
हैं। ठीक है।
ठीक है।
अभी जैसे ही शिप्रा मैम लॉग इन करेंगी तो उनसे ये चीज कन्वे कर देंगे कि कौन उनको क्यू दे रहा है। उस पे वो स्लाइड स्टार्ट कर दिया। ठीक है, मैं एक बार चला के देख लेता हूँ। उसमें पुराना डेटा सारा उड़ा दिया था ना बंदा,
हाँ।
जो पुराने लॉगिन से।
एडमिन ना, एडमिन पेज ना।
हाँ, एडमिन पेज में जो मतलब कल तक के, या मतलब कल रात तक के जो लॉगिन थे वो सब हटा दिए ना।
रुको मैं भी।
मतलब मल्टीपल लोग लॉगिन करके चेक भी करते रहते हैं ना।
हम्म।
आई
देखो
डोंट नो
कोई
अब
कोई
हटाना ठीक होगा कि
नहीं।
नहीं।
नहीं, अभी हटाना तो बिल्कुल भी ठीक नहीं होगा। विशेष, अगर हटाना है तो अभी हटा सकते हैं, क्योंकि यूजर साइन ही है अभी।
दो तीन मेल आईडीज हैं उस
नरेंद्र
पर।
नरेंद्र है और प्रणव सरेन जो लॉगिन है। बाकी सब लॉग आउट कर चुके हैं, पहले आए
अरे
थे।
उस पे आवाज आ रही है।
एक सेकेंड।
अरे इस पे आवाज
Hi, everyone. Very early good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for taking out time today to be here with us. And here we present to you the next in our series of Meet with Digital Thinkers, Fireside Chat, wherein we have been showcasing stories of digital leaders transforming businesses using technology. And we have had, 4 digital leaders so far with us. And today, again, we are going to bring to you one such leader who is really going to, bring the true essence of digital transformation in today's time. Now, before I actually get our speakers, to start, I want to just take a few minutes to set the context. And today, when we are talking about the digital economy that's centered around customer experience, the ordinary no longer cuts the deal. And the new economy that is emerging now, where technology and open global markets conspire to create more risks and opportunities, it's customer driven and not simply customer centric. And this is something that I read somewhere and it truly resonated with me, and I think it will resonate with all of you. When we're talking about a customer centric environment, the organization focuses its efforts around its own idea of the customer. However, in a customer driven environment, the customer chooses when and how to engage. So really, the new rules of digital transformation are not really pushing, but pulling information from the marketplace. It's about maximizing lifetime value versus pushing single interactions, and rather than historical insights, it's about predicting what is going to happen next. And these elements with a great service model that is more interactive and proactive is when you can get a deeper understanding of the customers as individuals as opposed to large segments. So this is actually what we are going to be really talking about, a great customer experience. And the speaker that we have today, the company that we have today really embodies that. But today, when we're talking about customer experience, it's more than just understanding your customers and delivering extraordinary experiences to them. There are several aspects underpinning it. Of course, better understanding, or rather predicting your customer needs is one of them. Spotting changing trends and aligning to them is another. And being agile and scalable and driving constant innovation is also a key part of that whole customer experience delivery chain. So let's see how a company is pushing the threshold for delivering extraordinary customer experiences while building agility, scalability, and performance with cloud and AI. And the company that I'm talking about here is NoBroker, a disruptive real estate platform that directly connects homeowners and home seekers and makes it possible to buy, sell, or rent a house without paying any brokerage. And it, in fact, holds the credit for the world's largest customer-to-customer real estate portal. And to talk about how cloud is helping this digital native perfectly match homeowners and seekers and enable their customers to make smarter real estate decisions, I have with me Akhil Gupta, co-founder and CTO of NoBroker. Akhil doesn't need much introduction. Everyone knows him. However, just to tell you a little bit more about him, Akhil is a veteran holding over a decade's worth of experience in the technology domain. Akhil took the entrepreneurial leap in 2014, co-founding NoBroker to revolutionize the house hunting experience, and he single-handedly coded and managed the platform for the entire first year during the bootstrapping days. And before starting NoBroker, Akhil worked with Oracle, where he led several products as part of it and filed several patents. And to take the discussion forward with Akhil and to really understand NoBroker's cloud journey, I would like to invite Sujit Janardhanan, Head of Marketing, Google Cloud India. Sujit, who leads marketing for the Google Cloud business in India, has a career spanning over 19 years with a deep understanding of the IT ecosystem, complex enterprise purchase decision-making process. And the last decade of his professional career was focused on building brands and businesses operating in the data center and cloud services industry, where he worked with companies like NetMagic and Amazon Web Services. So Sujit and Akhil, thanks a lot for joining us. And Sujit, I will hand it over to you here to take the discussion forward with Akhil.
Thank you, Shipra. Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon or early good evening to all of you. And it's such a privilege, Akhil, to have you amongst us.
Thank you.
And I really have been a very, I would say, a great user of No Broker for almost 3 years now. And I should say that you truly disrupted the experience for customers like me who are always trying to look out for the right match as far as the tenant is concerned, since I'm trying to lease out my flats all the time. But Akhil, welcome again.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And I think what is really interesting, if you could share with the audience here, is really a journey. Now, obviously, No Broker was founded in 2014. You started in a very competitive market, which is the Indian real estate market, especially when you look at the whole broking ecosystem, ranging from small brokers, large real estate agents to online platforms. It'll be great to kind of share your journey from where you started. What challenges did you face initially? And how did you go about differentiating yourself in the marketplace? And it'll be great to share some stories along the way that you experienced with the audience.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'll try to keep it as entertaining as possible and not bore you with some gyan and all. So basically, the No Broker journey, it started way back in 2013. This is August 2013. So we are three partners, me, Amit, and Saurabh. Saurabh's my senior from IIT Bombay, and we were next door neighbors in the hostel. And Amit is Saurabh's batchmate from Ahmedabad, and we were next door neighbors in their dorm, is what they call hostels in IIM. And so basically, we say we have a room connection, so we have a real estate connection, and that is what people always think that this looks like a fabricated story, that all three founders knowing each other for at least 14, 15 years before starting a company. But that's the fact. So August 2013 is when I was thinking that we need to do something. That's when Saurabh, Amit, we started discussing, okay, let's do something. And that is when we said, if you look around the globe or even in India, the way technology, so when we were in IIT, this is way back in 2005. I'm from a city called Kota in Rajasthan, and I was studying in Bombay. And whenever you have to go back to your city, what you need to do is during the summers, you need to book your train tickets because otherwise trains will be full. The way we used to do it, we used to go to Kanjurmarg railway station. We used to go to Gandhinagar. Gandhinagar, we used to get a concession form, then go to Kanjurmarg. From there, used to pick a train, then go to a place and book the tickets. But cut short, 2005-6, you see that IRCTC started. Things started happening online. Similarly, for movies, we used to go to a theater called Shreyas in Ghatkopar. I don't know whether it still exists or not. And there, before the movie show, if movie is 3 p.m., we'll go by 1:30 or 2. There will be touts/brokers there who will be selling 35 rupees ticket at 70 rupees. We used to buy it from there. Whenever you go to the window, you will not get anything. But during 2004-5, when we were ending our tenure, the sites like Book My Show and few other sites came, which removed the intermediary. So there was Book My Show, there was Make My Trip, there was IRCTC, and there were the sites which were removing the intermediation, be it physical or in terms of the cost, and they were providing the service. So that was something which was there in our mind that, okay, the way technology and the way internet has shaped up the industries, the way industries have changed. I used to always appreciate that particular part. So now that started happening. After that, started working with Oracle, worked with a startup, again joined Oracle to lead a team. And then I was getting bored that with the enterprise, it's not that much fun. You build something, it takes anywhere between 6 months to 12 months before you see that product live with the customers. And by the time you get the feedback and you can do something on it, that technology may be old, or there may be something, some new technology or some new product which may be more fascinating to work on. So that's when I thought we should do something on consumer side, and that's when Saurabh came up with this idea that why not build something in real estate which disintermediates brokers, which creates a real marketplace. And then we started thinking about it. I remember in Bangalore, in Bellandu, there's a small cafe where we started discussing the idea, and then we were saying, this looks amazing. This works. This works in movies, cinema halls. This works in air tickets, train, buses, and all those things. Will it work in real estate? We said, let's give it a try. Now, to answer the question what Sujit had, did we had cold feet before starting? No, really. We thought my idea was, if not anything, I'll learn something out of it. How does entrepreneurship work? How does you build consumer facing platforms? How do you reach out to the consumers directly? But in terms of the business, was that the right time? If I think now, I'll be scared twice to do it. So not knowing much was blessing in disguise for us. So there were at least 10 prop tech platforms at that point of time, without naming, a few of them are still there, who are doing this business the way it happens across the globe. So they are, either they are now acquired or shut, or if they are running, still they are the classified businesses where across the globe you will see that all the prop tech platforms help you connect with a broker, and then broker is the guy who helps you get the deal. Everything happens through the broker, and that is something which said, if I have to connect to the broker, why do I need to go online? There are brokers mushrooming across the streets. You step down from your apartment, you take a right or left, within 200 300 meters you will find a shop which will say property consultant or property advisor or whatever it is. You can just walk into the shop and pay him. And brokers for real estate contract, like for tenant, if you're getting a house on rent, they will charge you 1 month rent from you, 1 month from owner, and typically for a 11-month contract. So 2 by 11 is approximately 18%. Have you ever seen 18% brokerage being commission being paid across the globe? I said no. That makes business like, wow, this is something. If we can do something, we can certainly make money for our customers, and we can put money back in our customers' pocket. So that was one aha moment. Yeah, this makes sense. And in cities like Mumbai, the broker comes back after 11 months also, even if you're continuing the deal with your owner. So that's how we chose the city. We said, okay, first we will launch this product in Mumbai. So we were sitting in Bangalore. We started company from Bangalore. First city which was launched was Mumbai. Okay. So that is how we said, okay. And then we said, okay, it's a technology product. How do we differentiate? We will differentiate using technology. Hence, we will not have any people on the ground. So day zero, we had set up the rule. It has to be technology. It has to be zero brokerage. And just because we wanted to stick to this particular thing, we took the domain no broker. Saurabh had bought this domain no broker, but by taking the domain no broker, it pushed us that we can never become a broker ourselves. Okay, so we will have to make use of technology to innovate, keep innovate, bring in customer, solve the customer problems using this particular product. So that's how the whole thesis about no broker started. And these 2 3 insights gave us a lot of confidence that this is something which will work. So August 2013 is when I started working on it. Luckily, so I was expecting my first kid. My wife was expecting, so she went back home to Rajasthan, and I had 6 months in front of me. So my baby was supposed to be delivered in January, so or rather 4 months. So I said, okay, she is not here. I have full time in hand. I took Friday off from my office. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I used to come back Thursday evening, start sitting to code till Sunday night. I used to code, and then this was my journey for next 3 4 months. There's a company called Fasos, with which I used to order wraps, eat, and then that's how I started doing it. And by January, we had more or less the product ready, and a decent product which works on web, mobile web and desktop. We didn't have app, and it was a responsive using Bootstrap, Spring, Hibernate, not much of the elastic, very basic product market fit kind of a product which was ready. Then we started deliberating, okay, when should we go live? So we said, okay, let's add this much feature, let's add this also, let's just add this also. In February, we got bored. We said this way, or we spoke to a couple of our friends, and they said there will be never be right time to go live, because you will always be short of functionality. So go live. So on 1st of March, or rather 28th night or first night, I said, okay, I had everything was set up. I just had to map it to the domain nobroker.in. So I just went and created a entry in domain, and that's how NoBroker went live. That was like 1st of March. And from there, it has been journey. We started seeing good traction. We reached out to owners, explained that the product is free for you. It doesn't affect you. You use whatever you are using, any of the site what you are using, any of the brokers what you are using. If you get a tenant from us, it's free for you. You don't have to pay us anything. So that was no brainer for all the owners. How we used to do is we used to go out on the street, and we used to see to-let boards which were hung outside the houses or even outside the apartments. Take the photograph, come back home, call those owners, just tell them it will be free for you, sir. And the people will say, okay, good. please list it. So that's how we started building the supply. And then for the demand, we didn't have a lot of money, and we didn't save a lot of money also. I got married, I think 2 3 years back. Saurabh was already running another business called chain of spa called Four Fountain Spa. Amit had quit his job to be full time on No Broker. So we decided that the per day budget for marketing will be 500 rupees. So on 15,000 rupees kind of a budget, we started marketing. And because it was 15,000 rupees, 500 rupees, we didn't even dare to open Google AdWords account because we knew it will be like 5 10 rupees per click. We won't be able to get anything. So we started building our brand on Facebook. So we started with Facebook pages. We reached out to a lot of people on Flat and Flatmate kind of a group where people were looking for houses, and the traction started coming. And that's when we started reaching out to venture capitalists and saying, okay, this is what we are building, and this is the hypothesis, this is how it will work. And people said, wow, this is amazing. This is phenomenal. Like, you guys are changing the way it works. And conversation used to happen, one conversation, two conversation, final conversation. They'll say, but we'll not be able to put money because there is nothing like this in the West. So, and that is 2014 for you. 14, 15 was a time when everything has to be either Uber of something or Amazon of something or maybe Google of something. And if you have a company similar to you in the West, it makes life much more easier for you in terms of the money. So this is how it started happening. We started meeting investors, but one good thing was that we were getting good traction. Good traction for you is like 50 properties being added onto the portal every day. That's a good traction, and we were very happy about it. That as we speak, we add more than 1.5 lakh properties per month. That time we were adding 1,500 or 2,000 properties per month, and it was a good traction for us. So we started meeting more investors, and during August time frame, we had at least 3 investors who were more or less ready to fund us, and we were happy. And then we were saying, okay, now we'll have money and we have our own plans. And suddenly there was a competitor which raised a very large round from a very marquee investor, which was like around $100 million. And within a week, the investors who were ready, either they were not picking the calls or they were saying, okay, we had a problem, or we don't think this is the right time. There is too much of competition into the market, so we won't be able to invest. So from March, June, July, August time, we were sure that we are getting the money and we didn't have money. So that's when we said, okay, but let's start. Let's keep doing it. We thought we'll take some debt and all those things, but we didn't needed it. By December, we had even more traction, and that's when SAF Partners agreed to do a Series A round of $3 million. So December is when we got term sheet, and by February 2015 is when we got money in our account and we opened our office. So that's how. So it was a long 11-12 months of bootstrap since we went live, but almost 15-16 months before we raised any institutional funding to take the business ahead.
Oh, okay. That's one fascinating journey, right? As in awesome, and I'm sure you'll never look back post that. And that brings me to the next question. You spoke about a couple of insights. One is the insights that there was real value for the users. Also, the other insight that based on what you chose as the name for your company, you had to ensure that you were a tech platform first. Now, hence, the success of your business model really depends on connecting the right tenant or buyer to the right property owner, right? How are you leveraging technology to ensure this right match and also make the right recommendations for customers? It'll be great if you could kindly share how you built this whole technology architecture for the No Broker platform.
Sure. So as I said, the name is No Broker. So the one thing what we had to ensure, and if you see in a real estate transaction, why people don't get a good experience is because all these brokers, what you see, and there are good brokers. There is no doubt that there are some phenomenal brokers in the market in Bombay, in South Bombay especially, who really care for the customers. But most of these brokers, higher majority, I'll say 90-95% of the brokers, this is not the primary job. Either they will have a grocery shop, either they will have a medicine shop, or they may be a panwala across your corner, and they are working this as a alternate business just because they are sitting on information. And information is कि आपकी उस शॉप, उस बिल्डिंग के अंदर दुकान है और आपको मालूम है कि अखिल गुप्ता इज मूविंग आउट एंड यू नो दैट E1804 बिलोंग्स टू Sujit, you are sitting on that particular information and you want to capitalize on that particular information and make a bounty out of it. And that this is how it has been, and there has been a cartel. So even if a broker tries to break this cartel by saying, "यार मैं 1 month नहीं charge करूँगा, I'll charge maybe 15 days only," all other brokers will take the shit out of you. So you can't do it. And then when you are getting good money, if you let's say you get two houses worth 25,000 rupees rented, you make 50,000 rupees, which is like 6 lakh rupees per annum, which is much higher than per capita income of India. Correct? So the customer service has never been the focus in this particular industry. It's only how do I make use of this information asymmetry, close the deal, take the money, and move forward. After that, I don't care about that particular thing. So we realized that, okay, broker is the pain point here. So what we did on the platform is we said, okay, we will ban the broker onto the platform. It will be only genuine owners and the tenants. Let's say you have a house to give on rent and I need it. You know I'm a genuine guy and you know you are a genuine owner. You are saying 32,000 rupees. I'm saying Sujit 31,000 rupees, or you are saying okay, Akhil, no 32,500 rupees for so reason. We will certainly close the deal. Like once we like each other, we know okay, both the parties are genuine. Deals will happen. So we ensure that if we just keep genuine parties onto the platform will automatically grow. Okay, and that's when we made use of technology to build this proprietary algorithm with which we ban the broker. I'll not talk more about the algorithm, it's the secret sauce, but that is something which works at this scale when we have more than 1 crore customers who have used no broker till date. 99.9% of the time we are accurate. It doesn't fail you, and I'm sure there will be a lot of listeners who would have used the platform and you have used it yourself. You would have never got a call from a broker on no broker. Correct? So that is something which we ensured. And when you created a platform, a niche where only genuine parties are there, it automatically starts working. So that's when what happened was that the network effects started into the place. So Sujit gave his house to rent to Akhil for free. Akhil didn't pay, Sujit didn't pay, 30,000 rupees each, 60,000 rupees saved. Sujit goes and tells 5 other friends of his that I have found this amazing platform, why don't you use it? Akhil tells 3 other friends, boss, you should try no broker, you will get a house for free. Okay. And that is how this network started building, and that is now the network with time became a snowball where people, all these people who were getting the platform for the free, using the platform for the free, became our free marketeers. And so even with 500 rupees of the budget per day, we had so many people. And that time it may be like 5-10 people. Even with 5-10 people, we had good amount of marketing which were happening for us and which led to this particular platform. So coming back to the technology part, so then we realized, okay, what does a very good broker does? What will a very good broker do? A very good broker will tell you, will ask you few questions. Where do you work? Is your wife working? Do you have kids? Whether they go to this school? And then he will take all these locations and he'll triangulate a location for you or area for you where you should live. And that happens basis your budget also. Can this not be done using technology? It can be done much better than technology. So that is what we do. So we have search based on travel time also. You can choose. Okay, Sujit is fine to travel for an hour because, but he wants his wife should not travel for more than 15 minutes. You can put those filters. You want your kids' school to be closer to the house, you can put that particular filter. So you can triangulate. So we created. So when you come to the platform, we ask you certain questions on forms of the requirement. We make use of this information. We do the recommendation, which is dynamic, and we create the property recommendations for you. So you use those recommendations to search for the houses. Now, traditionally, all the platforms which are classified, they give the deal to the broker. So Sujit gave his house to Akhil is known to maybe a broker ABC, and that information didn't came back to the platform. But on no broker, because deal is being closed onto the platform. Even when Sujit has agreed to let his house to Akhil, he will still come back to the platform because Sujit will not want any other people to keep calling him saying, hey, Sujit, is your house available? So even if you don't tell me immediately, on the next call, you tell me, okay, house is available, house is no longer available. How do we take that particular feedback? On your app, when Akhil calls, I know Akhil is calling from this particular number. Suji's number is this. App is there. We show a pop-up. We show a small card which says, okay, there's a potential tenant who's calling to you whose name is Akhil. So even if you don't pick up the call from the unknown numbers, you know, okay, I need to call this guy back. And even if you have given your house onto the rent, after the call happens, there's a feedback pop-up which comes, which asks you, okay, is your house available, not available, rented? If rented, at what price you have rented? And because I have saved money for you, you have no hesitance in telling me that this house was rented for 29,800 rupees. If not that, then people started saying, okay, platform works. You can get me a tenant or you can get me a house, but I still have to go to the broker for rental agreement. So that's when we brought in the rental agreement service where we automated, we digitalized the complete process. Even the cities like Mumbai, where you have to go to the sub registrar office, we partnered with the vendor. You come, you create a rental agreement on no broker. With Aadhaar, there will be a biometric machine which a person will come to your house, take your biometric fingerprints, or if you're sitting in US, I send the machine to your house with the instruction that connect it to the laptop, give the fingerprint, and it will be done. So that happened. Then people said, "Wow, this is working." But packer and mover kahan se dhoondu main? So we said, "Okay." So that's when technology came in. Then we realized that the whole of the packer and mover business, if you see, these are small businesses which are fragmented, which make use of yellow pages to make themselves visible. And their luck of getting the business depends on that when Sujit called a yellow page, whether they came up because of ads or did they, if they got the lead, did they call on the time or somebody else called before them and offered the deal? But for the customer, all these guys are the voice behind a phone. And I don't know from the voice whether Akhil is a trustable person or not. So we said, okay, let's create a algorithm for this particular thing. So now what happens on No Broker is you can say, I'm moving from Molan to Ghatkopar, this kind of house, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, with algorithm we tell you, okay, boss, for this movement, you have to pay me 13,000 rupees. Pay 10%, book the movement. One of my partners will come and do the movement and pay rest of the money when the movement is done. So that is how. So what we do at No Broker and the philosophy is that look for the consumer problem and solve it using technology without putting people behind that particular problem.
Awesome, Akhil. I love all the connections and how you kept on adding more and more features and modules, right? So what this essentially now means is you got millions of users visiting your site every day. In order to enhance both customer experience and your staff productivity, because you're pretty much a virtual team, the underlying infrastructure needs to deliver on the key aspects of speed, agility, and performance. How has the move to cloud really helped you push the threshold on these aspects? We're keen to hear some of your real life examples and improvements that you have really seen on some of the key business metrics and also technology metrics that you would otherwise expect of your tech stack since your transition to Google Cloud.
Yeah. So our Google Cloud transition happened around 6-7 months back, and we were cloud first from day zero. We were using another cloud service provider, which was working well for us until we hit a scale. And once we started hitting scale, there were problems like, okay, there is the NFS outage because the disk which was mounted with our VMs, that had an issue because of its site was going for a performance toss. And you are always worried about whether my site will be able to scale or not. On weekends, traffic increased drastically. A lot of people who are looking for the houses, performance starts going for the toss. So that's when we realized, okay, let's look for a better player. We evaluated all the cloud offerings, and then we zeroed in on Google Cloud. One of the biggest implementation what we have done is the Kubernetes part. So like with Kubernetes, one is like when we started, it was a monolith application, which we broke into small microservices and still going on. There's a bit of part in monolith, but with Kubernetes we created small pods, and all these applications were put on those pods and they were put into the self-managed mode. So let's say if my search, if there's an upsurge in the tenants, okay, and the search is happening, only the search service scales. So search service scales automatically. So with that, we suddenly got so much of peace of mind that we started moving everything to Google Cloud, be it our CDN, be it our core services, be it our anything what we need. So as we speak, we are 100% on Google Cloud. And one good thing what we got with this cloud migration was the security. So with one is like Google security is amazing, but the way we could configure the firewalls, the way we could create the VPC, the way we had a single provider for all so from day zero, we have been doing our ML and AI on Google, and all our applications were running on different cloud provider. So we always had to create a secure connection between two these Google Cloud. But with that, we our applications move into Google Cloud. Tensor, we use TensorFlow a lot. So now we can have GPUs co-located with our applications, and we can build applications which are much more faster. Like if you see on NoBroker, you'll see a lot of AI tools. One is when owner uploads the property. So as I'm saying, we add around 1.8 lakh properties every month, which will be around 6,000, 7,000 properties on a day. Every property, if it has 10 pictures, I have around 60,000, 70,000 pictures which owners are uploading. Now owners can upload anything. How do I verify that these are really property pictures? So we created a internal codename project called Iris, which is like our eyes, which use object identification, and there we use a lot of Firebase to identify whether this image has any attributes of the property. Be it, does it have a dining table? Does it have a gas? Does it have a bed? Does it have a facade? And this is that we accept or reject the property. So now that happens super fast. So the earlier when we started, once a owner lists the property to show up onto the portal takes up to 12 hours, because there was a person who was sitting behind the scenes seeing all the attributes, pictures, and activating it. Now it happens automatically. You can try it out. Just go with a real property. Within 3 minutes, your property will be activated in live on platform. So that is something which became super powerful. We have another application called No Broker Road, which is a society management app, which takes care of security, visitor, all the finances and all. During COVID, so before COVID, what we used to do is when the maid is coming and the your this cook is coming, we give them passcode. But anybody can use the passcode and spoof. So we started a biometric entry kind of a thing where you connect your small biometric device to the phone and give your fingerprint, and you'll be allowed, like we do it in our offices. With COVID, people were suddenly wary of using biometric. So we created a AI-based face detection platform within 3 weeks using Tensor and other things. And we went live in 3 weeks. When I'm saying created, we went live in 3 weeks. Now, what happens is a security guard, he just points the camera on the face and it detects and it lets the people in. And that works. So we do 5 matches. It's not only one image. So you are moving, we take 5 images, match within 200 milliseconds. So this gave us better performance than what we are using for bio mismatch. So the Google Cloud, because it has all the tools what you need to build the application, it makes your life easier. And being a tech first company, it's extremely important to have all the armors in one place so that it makes your life easy with keeping security into the place.
Well, I love that, and I just wanted to double click on the security piece, right? Since you touched upon it, I love how you're leveraging all the tool set that's available on the Google Cloud platform. The security bit, see, data security is paramount, and here you're dealing with PII data. What are some of the things that clearly stood out for you as you were using Google Cloud platform from a security perspective that made life easier for you and your team as you built out some of these products?
So see, the biggest one is like when even the databases, the way you configure the firewalls and all those things, the way the service accounts are available. Like with the previous one, we used to do SSH to our VMs, and then SSH passwords used to share, and we had a DevOps team which will keep on changing those passwords and then keep sending it to the stakeholders as and when needed. Now with this service account approach, what Google has, we put everybody onto the cloud with access. Okay, Akhil works only on the pricing services. He just get to the pricing service. He just needs application which is backend to be accessed. So he just gets access to those pods. He doesn't even need to get into the front end or the database part. So with that, even within the organization, and we for our no broker road application, we are GDPR compliant, and we take care of personal data protection bill. All of it was extremely easy for us. We had to just set up the rules, and with that, it was taken care of. All the data what we store is encrypted. All the data, what we show for our management committees in the society, there's all hashed. And even as a management committee, you don't even see the phone number of the customers. So all those security things, which earlier when I was working, I remember in 2008, 9 times during the Oracle days, it was of a very important thing, and you had to give a lot of time while building the architecture. And many of these things comes by default in Google Cloud. So that helps in saving time, and you can use that time in building the features what customers need.
Awesome. And then I was very intrigued by one single aspect, right? As in the amount of data that you're probably gathering, and we all keep on hearing this statement: data is the new oil. But I believe data is going to be at the core of every business. Okay, and the key is to enabling better customer experience using the data. A lot of businesses just miss out on that opportunity. They collect all the data, but they don't really do anything with that. Can you share how you're leveraging the vast volume of data to spot trends, behavioral patterns, and how that has helped you build better experiences? And specifically, how's technology on the Google Cloud platform enabling some of those for you and making it easier for you as a business?
Sure. So as you rightly said, data is new oil. From day zero when we started, we said we will not lose out on this, even the single clickstream data. So as we speak, we have terabytes of data which is lying in our calls, in our cloud, and this data, which is transaction data. Somebody is listing the property, searching, and all those things. Then there is a data which is user behavior data. How exactly people are coming and using the site, where do they click, the events, which some goes to GA, some goes to Adobe, and some of it, because all these platforms take a lot of money for a lot of data. We just build a custom solution where we keep all of the data with us. And along with that, there is another important set of data, which is when you speak to the customer. So there's a big call center which helps the customer, because we don't have people on the ground. So we do around 7,000 hours of recording every day when we speak to the customers. Every single recording is lying with us now. So what we have done, we have a internal project called Jarvis, with which we are transcribing all this data, again using ML and AI on Google Cloud, and we are deciphering the trends and the information out of it. So now what happened earlier, all this data, something was lying in Google Cloud, something was lying in some other cloud provider, something was lying as a backup somewhere, maybe in a Glacier and all those things. All of it, we have created a data lake. Now on to the real time. And then what happens as you start getting big, there's a lot of business intelligence which happens, correct? Business teams want to be on top of the data at every point of time, and they want real time access. कि boss, this customer का miss हुआ call, तो मुझे call करना है, and all those things. And with that, because if you have that application and business intelligence running on the same thing, one business folk runs a bad query and site goes for a toss. So that's when we decided, okay, we'll have to create a data lake so that all the disjoint data which is being collected at different sources can be brought into the single place. So now even the user behavior data, call recording data, transaction data, any other chat data, anything, everything goes into the single data lake, and with which we are able to create a unified information of the customer. I exactly know when did Sujit called me last, what did we speak, when did he use the his mobile to use, when did he use desktop, all that information is available. And with that, now we are doing, so this is something which we have done in last 2-3 months, and we are seeing some phenomenal insights which are being created, like what are the products to be created next, what are the problems which customers are facing. So one source of knowing the problems is customer calling you, customer writing to you, customer abusing you on social media, customer spoiling your Google Play Store ratings. But another thing is being proactive. So now proactively I can know, okay, this is the issue which can happen. Okay, this customer had taken a paid plan. He pinged my relationship manager who has not responded in last 7 minutes. And all of it, because now data is coming to the lake, there's a live data stream which is there. We just pick that particular signal and we informs the RM, okay, boss, you need to speak to this guy. If you're not doing it in then 5 minutes, it automatically gets escalated so that your manager will take care of that particular thing. So those are the kind of solutions what we are able to build now.
Awesome. It's fascinating, Akhil. I just want to kind of wrap up this conversation before I hand it over back to Shipra. Is you're pretty much using cutting edge technology to build new experiences for your customers. you're using insights to build new products and features for your customers. What's next really? As in, what's there on your agenda which says, I want to do this next as a team, and what's that looking like?
See, so for me, fascination is not building something which I like. It should be something what my customer needs, correct? And that is how we have built this company. We started as a small rental marketplace. As we speak now, we have four business lines. So we have No Broker as a core platform, No Broker Home Services, where you get rental agreement, packers and mover, cleaning, painting, interior, any service you name, you will get it there. Then No Broker Pay, which is you can pay your rent, you can get loans, you can get legal due diligence, anything related to finance on that particular thing. And No Brokerhood being the latest edition, which is like 18-month-old product, where we are giving a product for societies to manage their societies. And there a lot of innovation is happening, be it the boom barrier. If your car comes, boom opens automatically. Be it the water meter integrations, where you get to know as a MC, okay, the water tanker which came, did it really put 10,000 liters of the water in my sump, or he is cheating me by taking 1,000 liters of water in every trip, hence saving one tanker in 10 trips, what he is doing. So those are the things. So we always look for the problems which are coming from the customers and try to solve it using technology.
Love it, love it. No better example of customer centricity than that, as in starting with the customer, working backwards. Thank you, Akhil. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to hand it over to Shipra for the next part of this session. Shipra, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Akhil and Sujit. Akhil, that was a fascinating story. Not just a story, a fascinating journey, actually. From where you started to where you have come so far, and the experiences you shared, talking us through your cloud journey and how you're leveraging cloud, whether it is to successfully run a digital platform engaging millions of users with 99.9% uptime, or running analytics and insights on huge data volumes to spot trends and patterns. All this will be a great learning experience for our listeners to take back with them and apply, as they prepare to make their organizations more customer centric, or rather customer driven, as I said earlier in my introduction. Most importantly, what you're looking at to do with cloud to build innovative solutions to stay relevant in the new normal. I think that is something that we will be interested, everyone will be interested to watch out for. And thank you so much, Sujit, for bringing out the true essence of No Broker's cloud journey. Thank you so much, both of you. Thanks, Akhil, for taking our time today. Now, taking this forward, we all agree, and we have all seen how cloud is the key pillar in any organization's transformation journey. However, it's equally important in this journey to have the right partner to ensure that your journey is truly optimized and to maximize the results that you actually set out to achieve with cloud. Therefore, it's important to hear the perspective of the partner and what they bring to the table. And to bring that perspective, I would now like to invite Abdul Munee, co-founder and director, Brio Technologies, and a cloud evangelist. With more than 2 decades of rich experience, Abdul helps businesses embrace the cloud and the future of work. So Abdul, over to you. And before actually Abdul starts his session, I would request everyone, if you have any questions, there is a box for you to type in your questions. Please do that. After Abdul's session, we will have the Q&A session, and we will take up your questions with Akhil, Sujit, and Abdul during this session. So please type in your questions. And thanks, Abdul. Over to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Shipra. And I think two statements overall in the discussions as a co-founder resonated with me from Akhil was not knowing something was a blessing in disguise. I can really make out, and see how even it helped Brio when we started. And other thing was to build what really customer wants, so these are two things. And Akhil, thanks for that, amazing sharing that amazing journey. So I have a small presentation, which I'll do. Are you able to see my screen? Is my screen visible, Shipra?
Yes, Abdul, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so I found this very motivational, these statements very motivational during the current times. Like while challenges are great, so are the opportunities. So looking at the businesses today who are trying to address, challenges for cost optimization, business continuity, and digital transformation. So, in this couple of minutes, I would take you all through how Brio is working with its customers to address some of these challenges. We co-founded Brio in 2004, and our relationship with Google Cloud has been over a decade old right now. So we were very fortunate to be part of Google Cloud partner ecosystem from early days. We have been able to deliver 100 plus successful projects till now. Uh, so here are some of our technology offerings, like infrastructure modernization, where we are talking about VM migration. No matter it may be a simple lift and shift migration, or lift and optimize, whether you're migrating your VMs from on-prem or from any other public cloud. We have all the proven tools and processes to get you on Google Cloud smoothly. Coming to SAP on Google Cloud, so we have the expertise to move your business critical applications on Google Cloud. And VDI is something which is very interesting in current scenario where businesses are really trying to leverage remote working to address the business continuity challenge. We have solutions which could be rolled out to thousands of employees in no span. So when I talk about infrastructure modernization, Crypt is one of our customers. They are a leading SAP consulting company whose focus is on supply chain planning and execution. Crypt was hosting their SAP workloads, in one of the US data centers, and they were reaching end of their contract, and they were really looking to renew that contract. The challenge was the existing cloud provider wanted them to get into a long-term engagement and commitment. So they were really looking out for some good alternatives, and that's where we engaged them. We showcased them the capabilities of Google Cloud, and other challenge which they were facing was all their SAP workloads were running on Windows 2008 and Microsoft SQL Server 2008, and which was reaching end of support, in January 2020. So not only we migrated them to Google Cloud, we also upgraded them to their Windows to a supported version. We re-architected their whole IT landscape, and the customer is really seeing some significant benefits currently with a pay-as-you-go model, like not even with the commitments. Coming to our application modernization services, we are working with a lot of businesses to modernize, their legacy applications, refactor those applications to really help them run on, serverless platforms, fully managed. We're also working with these companies to enhance their DevOps, particularly. Particularly working with the CI/CD pipelines. Firebase is a very interesting technology, interesting platform from Google for mobile development. Talking about our engagement with Wipro, I hope most of you have heard about the news on Wipro's and Google's partnership, and how Wipro is leveraging Google Cloud to advance its digital transformation. So we were very fortunate enough to work along with Google engineers on some of the projects. One of the interesting project which we did was Wipro had this internal application which they wanted to run on GKE. So the most challenging thing for that particular project was to really get the architecture approval from the IRMC team. So there's an internal risk management and policy compliance team of Wipro, and they had like we had challenges like where they need all services to be available on a private connection rather than a public connection. So there were a lot of learnings. So we used technologies like all major technologies like cloud build, repository, container registry, and services like PubSub. PubSub is a messaging platform, as a asynchronous messaging platform. Talking about our smart analytics, big data, and AI, we are working with customers on their data warehouse modernization journey, particularly leveraging truly serverless, scalable cloud warehouse platform like a BigQuery, and we're using tools like Dataflow for enhancing their ETL processes. Our data flow is something like manage Apache Beam on Google Cloud. So you have a single service for your both your batch and streaming pipelines. So our customer Rehlat is an online travel company. They are like sort of a make my trip of Middle East. So they have a very lean data engineering team, and we have been working with them to get insights from millions of reports which are getting ingested in BigQuery. So coming on to business productivity and transformation, G Suite, like we have onboarded more than 3,000 plus businesses on this wonderful collaboration platform. And cloud search is something interesting. Like if you're trying to build some Google search like capabilities for your products, then definitely we can look into using cloud search. Coming to our industry solutions, like particularly cloud native and ITES, most of our engagements where we are working with them on simplifying their application development, where we are abstracting, the infrastructure and the code, and really speeding up their, delivery time, the time to react to, the market, and improving their, CI/CD pipelines. Another great thing is like we help them with faster AI innovation. Google has a lot of AI solutions out of the box, like contact center AI, document AI, and recommendation AI, which retailers can use for product recommendation. And you have these pre-trained models in the form of which can take care of vision, speech, and conversations. And if you're looking something more than that, to have your own custom model, and but you have limited ML capabilities, then you can leverage platforms like AutoML. So our engagement with Infosys here was great. There were very great learnings which we had. We were there with them from day one, and we had set up and deployed their entire Google Cloud GCP environment as per their IT policies, which was compliant to their policies. There were a lot of challenges which we faced. Particularly, we had to work with a lot of third parties where we had to integrate Google Cloud with, let's say, authentication, because we had to do authentication with a third party service, or integrating the logging mechanism to their existing SIEM. But there were obviously great learnings, and the sort of scale which Infosys has at a very good experience. Coming to manufacturing, it's not only infrastructure modernization. We can we have solutions on enabling company in the manufacturing sector for adoption of Industry 4.0, where we can deliver solutions on improving the quality using AI, particularly like predictive maintenance and connected factories through IoT solutions. Ramki is one of the interesting, customers which we have worked. So to give you a background of Ramki, they're India's leading environment and waste management company. So to give you an idea, they handle 65% of total India's waste. So they were really looking at a significant growth in coming days, and they were really evaluating a platform which could fit to their needs and preferences. We started that engagement with moving their S4 HANA workload to Google Cloud, and we are seeing array of applications which are coming on board on Google Cloud after that particular migration. Talking about our retail engagements, like we have been working with companies on modernizing their e-commerce platform, and helping them with the real-time inventory things. So our experience, particularly with different industries and different size of businesses, there's something common, like when people really look to adopt Google Cloud platform, they always have some hiccups, some concerns which are mostly about, mostly on migration. So we make sure, our teams are there working with their teams, and really, we will try to bring you on Google Cloud with the full confidence. Then other challenge what we have seen particularly is on the skill set. So as most of the customers, they are deeply invested in with other cloud services or other technologies. So we really help them, get that, fast track their teams for GCP adoption. And of course, like cloud is all about choices, but making the right choice is really difficult. Making the right choice is very important here. As far as support is concerned, we want to be a bridge between our customers and the Google support, so that we are delivering that context-aware support for all your problems when it really matters. Last and not the least, businesses have issues on billing. We have custom solutions, to address these particular requirements and see that they are compliant. After this, like we are really want to we want to have a discussion. We are looking forward for engaging with your teams along with Google engineers, and see how we can partner with you in your cloud journey, and turn this great challenges into some great opportunities. So you can contact us on our website, or you can mail us on getoncloud@brio.co.in. And I would like to thank everyone for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, and over to Shipra.
Yeah. Thanks, Abdul. Thanks so much. So I think we have about time to take up one or two questions. So Akhil, we have one question for you from the delegate, and very important question. I'm sure this is something that is on most of from the mind of most of the technology leaders. And especially the question is that during the current COVID environment, it is difficult to convince our CFOs on the cost versus benefits that a cloud-led transformation can bring in. So any suggestions, how do we address this? So this is a question, I think, which is there all the time, but especially in today's environment, it's also
I think today's environment is a very, very correct way. Like it will be much more easier for you to explain that why cloud is better than physical environment, or getting into the servers which you manage yourself, because you don't even know whether people, when will people go back to the office, and if you have any issues in managing that particular infrastructure, how do you get to the data center which you are hosting? Instead of that, if you have it onto the cloud, it will be much more easier for you to manage everything. So, and in terms of the cost, if you see when you are hosting a data center yourself, or you're buying the servers and doing it, you need to account for the growth what you are anticipating in next 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, which may or may not happen, or which may not happen at the rate at which you are accounted it for. It may be much faster. In that case, your services will get impacted. And if it doesn't happen at the rate at which you have shown, you would have paid extra. You would have already paid for servers and other hardwares which you may not be using. So with cloud solutions like Google or anything what you use, the way you can scale as in when you need, like when we use Kubernetes, a lot of our servers, they scale during the day, and during the night they automatically scale down. So this is the cost saving which automatically starts happening in that particular way. And the biggest part along with that is that you don't have to worry about managing those servers. It is taken care by experts, so that you don't have to hire people to take care of those stuff. So COVID is the right time. I think COVID is the best time to move to cloud if anyone is trying to do it.
Right, I totally agree. So I think it's important to look at all the elements when considering the cost and not just one time cost. So Sujit, the next question is for you, and the question is that the Google Cloud recommends to work with a partner. So if you have all the expertise in house, then why should you use a partner?
Sorry, Shipra, your voice kind of faded out. Was the question that why if Google has got all the skill sets, why work with partners?
So the question is that if we have all the expertise in-house, why do we need a partner? And because Google Cloud recommends to work with a partner. So if the expertise is there in-house, why do we need a partner?
Well, it's a great question, by the way. We have had customers who have got varied models of engaging, right? What we clearly understood during our engagements with customers is you will have varying levels of skill sets, expertise in-house, and that's where partners really come and complement. Also, the biggest value add that partners bring onto the table really is cutting down your, I would call it, experimentation cycles. Because if you're choosing a cloud platform, like for example, you are on a particular cloud platform, you choose to move to Google Cloud, in that case, there is a learning curve because things are going to be different on a new platform. What a partner enables in a scenario like this is they just cut down your cycle of experimentation and learning, and thus cut down a lot of risks, costs involved, all of those pieces, and accelerate your journey from concept or the idea that you had when you're choosing a particular platform to actually it converting into real outcomes for you. And I think that's the biggest value that partners bring onto the table. Second piece is a lot of partners like Brio also have helped build productized solutions, especially because they build their expertise in a certain kind of customer segment. They already know what kind of problems are customers in this particular segment trying to solve. So they already productize those solutions and they bring that to the table immediately, which is built on Google Cloud, for example. So I truly believe partners accelerate your journey, cut down your risks when you're trying to move platforms or start on a cloud journey. And that's exactly the reason we as Google Cloud are strongly leaning on building a strong partner ecosystem that can support customers as they start on this journey of really leveraging the power of what cloud provides.
Yeah. So basically, it's a transformation journey, and you need someone for hand-holding, through the entire life cycle of that journey. Great. Thanks, Sujit. I think we have already overshot by 3 minutes. So if there are more questions, I'll make sure that they will be forwarded to you, Akhil, Sujit, or Abdul, whoever the questions are for. And my request to anyone, if you have any, if you want to get in touch with Akhil, Sujit, or Abdul, please do that. You can do it through us, and we'll make sure that they're connected with you. Thank you so much, Abdul, Sujit, and thank you so much, Akhil, for taking our time today. It was fascinating hearing your journey, and how through your personal life, when you were going through some of the big changes in your life, and on the professional front, how you managed the two, and of course, the technology aspect as well. Thank you so much once again, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
And
Thank you. Bye-bye.
One day away from the weekend, so great. Let's wait for one more day.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.